The training module is presented in this video mainly from the perspective of the training provided to the collaborators of organizations, particularly their employees. Yet, it's ready to be used in other training areas, including organizations that provide training. When it comes to the training of employees, it should be stressed that, in countries where we operate, this type of training is often no longer only an option of good management. It's also a legal requirement that organizations must comply with. This module may also help organizations to meet these requirements. An important point to consider is that this module, although integrated into our complete solution, can be implemented independently, whatever the existing system is. Particularly, it's available on the web, in cloud computing, from our servers. So, all it takes is subscribing to this module and it will be immediately available on the web. No installation needed on the premises. The training module supports activities of the training management such as the determination of training needs, the planning of courses and training actions to be undertaken, the control and allocation of the resources needed, the monitoring of training courses including applications, attendance and connections with evaluations, the allocation of resources and the control of costs of such courses, and the information required by various legal obligations. Let us now take a look at the base menu of this module. Besides the general framework facilities which are of interest to this and many other modules, there are general miscellaneous codes, institutions of the group, third parties, organization units and places, as well as a qualification catalog. Qualifications and the management of human resources based on qualifications is a subject that is specifically addressed in the module 430, which supports the setting of jobs occupations, descriptions, analysis and classification of jobs occupations in conjunction with qualifications. For this reason, we leave to the video of that module the approach of the qualification catalog. Are the items concerning the registration of the people most directly involved in training itself, that is, trainees and trainers, monitors. The setting of the resources needed, such as rooms and equipment, along with their respective costs. It is the most operational part. The setting of training needs and courses, training courses and their sessions, times, the relevant events associated with those courses, including attendance, the allocation of resources for the actions and sessions, the processing cycle of the application of trainees until the closure of the action and possible attribution of grades, and the training time checking account, which is essential for the control of the legal obligations in some countries. Let's now see all these facilities in greater detail. There is a base of trainees in which their personal data are gathered and arranged, and in case they are already part of the organization staff, the data regarding their career mapping are also displayed. Let's search for all the employees that are part of this base of commands and see an example. Here we have all the personal data of the employee 3001, her biographical data, and contact information. We can also jump to her career mapping, which we call placement of the employee. Let's see it. Here are the base data: the admission date, seniority date, her functional status, department she works at, her activities, building she is at, and also a point which is relevant to her career map, namely job category, career, and salary level. Both internal and external trainers are defined in the table of trainers monitors. We see, therefore, both external and internal trainers. Trainers may be either the employees of our institution or external third parties. With regard to resources, there is a set of options so as to define resources in general. Let's start by accessing the classes of products resources set for training in each organization. There are different classes, namely equipment, trainers, supplies, facilities, rooms, as well as other resources. Let's see a more detailed level under types of products. Here's an example. Within trainers are both external and internal trainers. Within the FE class of equipment training, we see equipment and equipment in general. Within supplies are materials and general supplies, and so on. Finally, let's view products resources in detail. In addition to classes and types of products, there is the product itself. Computers are generally within equipment in general, books, tables, etc. Within trainers, there are exactly external and internal trainers, and within each one of them, who are the respective third parties associated with them. There are rooms and other resources as well. This shows the overall architecture of products resources that support training. Here are 4 options where the most important material resources are found, so as to facilitate their management. We see rooms available for allocation for training courses. For example, by accessing rooms, we see rooms up to 10 trainees, 20 trainees, etc. Under equipment, we find computers, books, tables, etc. There are also material supplies and other resources. Trainers monitors, whether external or internal, as well as various products and resources. To conclude the issue around products resources, there are their costs as well. Accessing this option will display the costs of each product according to its reference unit. For instance, there is an internal trainer whose reference unit is hour, along with its cost. And there is a car rent whose reference unit is day, along with its cost. The preparation of a training plan is usually based on its needs. The origin of these needs may be multiform. The heads of their departments, they may result from performance evaluation processes, they may come from the initiative of the training department itself so as to comply with some existing internal policy, and they may come from the initiative of some employee himself who may post his needs on the web, particularly through the employee portal. As we can see, training needs are organized by periods and organized by area of expertise or training area within each period. We see 2 training areas in 2001, DF344, Accounting and Taxation, and DF345, Management and Administration. Below there is, for example, Management Sciences in 2002, and Teamwork in 2010. These are examples of training areas. One piece of information that's always visible is the organization unit the training need or person refers to. Let's see an example. This is usually the information collected in order to register a training need. We see the date, the description, and the final and initial periods in which we want the training need accomplished. One person in particular, in this case the employee 3001, and her respective department. We could just have the department to say that this training need only concerns the department itself. The modality, in this case a refresher course, the training area, and, if applicable, what the intended course is, along with its criticality level. We can analyze the training needs from a different perspective, that is, by organization unit. Let's see the same information organized differently, within time periods. Instead of training areas are departments. Here's an example. The training needs for the personnel department, accounting department, and so on. This is very useful information, especially in a large company, particularly in order to break down the training needs by department. This table allows organization to register its course catalog. Such a table is optional since the training courses themselves may be treated without resorting to this catalog. Also, as an option, just the most usual courses may be registered. In fact, this catalog is more important when the same course is repeated in many training actions. Then, the duplication of data in the record of actions may be spared by simply indicating the course, and so those data are automatically inherited from the latter. Let's view our catalog of courses. On the left is the name of the course, its description, and goals. On the right are other characterization elements, particularly the training company, the requirements for this course to take place, etc. There are also data on its duration, weeks, hours, or days. Let's consult a record. We can see the type of course, a code for the course, its corresponding description. We can also indicate a schedule system or not, the duration in weeks, days, or hours, skills, goals, course requirements. We can also specify the requirements that trainees must have in order to attend this course. That's all for now on training needs and courses. It is in this option that we are going to set the actual training courses to be implemented in the organization. As a whole, it consolidates the training plan of the organization. To do so, we need to point out and schedule the various training courses and make them available for application entries. Not forgetting, however, that the record of training courses also plays a historical role and is oriented to the record of employees, including legal training requirements for employees. For this reason, even actions that have not been planned yet can be registered, as well as the ones that have already taken place. Particularly, the record of actions attended by the employees and deemed relevant to their record and curriculum can be made available for them. If the record status is PD, pending, it means it is at planning stage. From the time its status is E0, that means the course has been confirmed and can accept applications. And finally, its status turns into X0 when the course has been executed. Let's look at the characterization of a training course. Basically, on the left are the start and end dates, the start and end times of the course, the identification of the training course, its code and designation, a description, the training area, and its objectives as well as where it will take place. In the center is the training entity, the requirements for this training action to be developed, as well as the requirements that trainees must comply with in order to attend this course. There is also a field for comments to be made. On the right are other elements that characterize the action, including its duration and cost, the current number of applications, and the maximum number of applications allowed. Back to the attachment, we remind you that this is a feature of our interface. We offer the possibility of attaching links to scanned objects so you can access them with a simple click later on. By clicking in here, we see the document scanned from the training program, Teaching Training of Trainers. This is a very important and useful facility. Let's consult now our record. We can see which information can be inserted. There is the type of training, whether internal or external, a code, which the system implements automatically within the year, a designation, a description, where the action will take place, the start and end dates and time, the duration, usually hours, the time regime, and, provided that we are referring to a course, the course associated with that action, the objectives, course requirements, and the requirements for trainees. Then, there are data on the number of applications, the maximum number of applications allowed, and their costs. It's possible to specify for each particular course the various sessions that comprise it, also often referred to as time periods. We note in this example that this course consists of 3 sessions. Here are the dates for each session and its schedule, as well as the program that will be covered in each one. The option Events allows us to record all facts relevant to each training course, including attendance events. By way of example, there are 2 events in here. If we place the cursor over the type of event, we note that the system explains what the delays are about. In this case, trainers were delayed. Nevertheless, each organization may set the types of events deemed necessary. By accessing the insertion screen, we see the set of information that characterizes the events. There is the training course concerning the event, the type, which can be set by the user, a description, and we can register events on departments, activities, place, and on the different types of resources. Also, a value may also be assigned to the event. It is in the table of allocations that we are going to associate the aforementioned resources to training courses, and so we can have an idea of the overall costs regarding that course. Let's check the allocations or resources of the type FSG, Rooms. And here it is, the allocation of Room S5, Main Auditorium, for a course on Excel Advanced Level, and Room S1, a room up to 10 trainees for the course Excel Intermediate Level. We can, with this facility, allocate resources so as to reserve them and plan their use. We can also maintain a complete history of resource use. Application requests may be registered in many ways. The heads of departments themselves may register some of their subordinates, by initiative of the employee's department, and by the initiative of the employee himself, who by having access to the training plan of the company through the employee portal may find some of the courses planned interesting. We can see 2 applications in here. The status of the first one is PD, pending. This means it is just a request. A confirmed status means the application has been accepted. An X0 status means it has been an actual attendance. After attendance is complete, there may be a transition to the registration of the qualification acquired. Let's see some data regarding an application attendance. There is the characterization of the training course the employee has signed up for, the date, the number and name of the person enrolled, total hours. the classification regarding attendance and course, and provided the system is integrated with the Human Resources module, it automatically fills in the personal data and the placement in the organization so as to change the statistics figures later on. We have presented in this video the training module along with the necessary details for a first assessment by your organization. It should be emphasized that the implementation can be carried out in phases, starting out, for instance, with only the registration of the minimum information necessary to complete the registration of employees and comply with any legal obligations. We also highlighted the possibility of implementing this module independently, regardless of the system currently in use, since it is available on the web in cloud computing from our servers. No need of on-site installations. We remind you that this dialogue can be deepened so we can better analyze your needs and our answers to them. We in the network of partners we integrate are fully prepared to listen to and support you.